Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman radiallahu an, he said that people used to come to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they used to ask him about the good deeds. But he said, I used to come to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and I used to ask him about the bad deeds so that I could stay away from them. So this is going to be my approach tonight, inshallah. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He told us, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامَ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Fasting has been prescribed for us, like it was prescribed on those who came before us. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us why. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. That perhaps you will be people who are mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Perhaps you will be people who are afraid of offending Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is this good? That's good. Okay. So, this is one of the reasons why we started this organization, Lamps of Light, which is set up out here, is to help people become muttaqun, to be people of taqwa. But not by just doing good deeds, but by staying away from the bad ones, like Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman used to ask Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of the main reasons why people cannot reach this rank of taqwa is because their lives or their environments or their hearts are filled with sin and love of sin. And this is one of the things that we try to help our youth and anyone who comes to us to try to get rid of. This is a behavioral health organization. We help people with mental health. We also help people to overcome addictions. So you may think drugs and alcohol, but actually the biggest addiction amongst our youth right now is actually pornography. This is one of the things that prevents them from reaching that rank of muttaqun. So I just want to give you some advice, because I know I only have maybe 3 more minutes. When a person decides that they want to change, they want to be better, there's 3 things that they have to do. Number 1, they have to form the intention. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, that your actions are determined by your intentions. And so your intention has to be to change. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He also said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah, He doesn't change the condition of a people or a person until they begin to change their own selves. So this is the first step. Your intention must be to change. Number 2, have a good opinion about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No matter what your state, no matter what you have done to yourself or to others, Allah can fix your state and Allah can fix your situation between you and others. But you have to have a good opinion about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you don't think that Allah can fix your situation right now, after you make 2 rakats, it's because you have a bad opinion about Allah. No, Allah can fix you and He can fix everyone, but it is His sunnah, it is His normative practice that you work for it. You have to do some mujahada, you have to do some struggle against the self. And that's where the assistance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's where it comes from. And then lastly, you have to learn yourself. All right? The early Muslims, they used to say, "Man arafa nafsahu faqad arafa rabbahu." Whoever knows himself can go on to know his Lord. So why am I saying this? Because if you don't know the traps that yourself is going to set for you, you are going to fall short over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I want you to start small. Because one of the exaggerations of the self is that it either wants you to do too much so that you will just give it up, or it wants you to do very little so it doesn't even matter. There has to be some sense of mujahada, some sense of straining against the self, working against the self, not giving into it everything that it wants. But start small. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I'm talking about changing habits, overcoming bad habits. People come, many times they talk about good things to do. I'm telling you how to get away from the bad things. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked, what deed is most beloved to Allah? And he said, adawamuhu. It's the thing that you do over and over and over and over and over again. Walau qalla. Even if it is small, very, very small. So when you want to give something up, just give it up a little bit. Give up a little bit, whatever it is. If you're not praying, begin to pray. Just work on one salat. Make one salat a day, but with the intention of doing it for the rest of your life. If you have an intoxication problem, don't try to give all of it up at once. Do a little bit at a time. Right? Just do a little bit. Give up a little bit at a time until you can give it all up over time. This is the sunnah of Allah. You work small, things start as small seeds, and then it turns to those huge trees that you see out there. Everything starts small. So you want to get away from a bad deed, do those three things. Have a good intention, have a good opinion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and watch out for the machinations of the self, and start small. Something that you can continue to do for the rest of your life. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.